This video is very important because it explains what happens if you have a worker who becomes barred from working with children. All holders of a Working with Children check, whether paid or volunteer, are subject to continuous monitoring for the duration of their clearance. Any new information we receive in this time, whether from a workplace or the police, may prompt a risk assessment. We will let people know if they can continue working with children or whether they've been interim barred or had their clearance cancelled. You need to know the Working with Children check status of your workers, and you need to know if it changes. This can happen in 4 ways. The first is an automatic bar, known as an Autobar. It occurs when someone who has applied for a check has committed an offence listed in Schedule 2. This applicant will never be given a Working with Children check number. Some people have a record that suggests they might be a risk of harm to children. This is because they have a charge or offence listed in Schedule 1 of the Act, or they have a relevant workplace record. Their application is risk assessed to determine whether they're cleared to work with children. They may be subject to an interim bar if more records need to be obtained. While they are interim barred, they are unable to work in a child-related role. Some people are given a clearance, but are then charged with an offence. If it's a Schedule 1 offence, they'll be risk assessed. If it's a Schedule 2 offence, they'll be auto-barred. Finally, someone might close their application or have it closed by us. This could be because they've failed to provide information relating to their risk assessment, or they've reapplied for a clearance when they've already been barred. In all these cases, we can only contact you if you've verified online the Working with Children check status of your workers. This includes APP numbers where these are given, as well as WWC numbers. If one of your workers becomes barred or interim barred, you will receive a call from someone in our compliance team. We will ask if your employee or volunteer is currently working for you and what role they have. We do this prior to giving you any further information. This is to ensure confidentiality is maintained for the person. We wouldn't like to tell you that John Smith has been barred, for example, and then you tell us he hasn't been working for you for over a year.
If you are notified of a barred worker and they are currently working for you in a child-related role, you are required to remove them from that role immediately, whether they are paid or volunteering. Our phone call will be followed by a notification in writing, but the phone call is your notice that they must be removed immediately. An interim bar is, as the name suggests, not a final decision. It means the applicant is being given the opportunity to participate in a risk assessment process by providing us with information that supports their claim that they are safe to work with children. If the person is issued an interim bar, you have the option to either suspend them or move them to a non-child related role until a final decision is made. A bar means a final decision has been made. They are not cleared to work with children or apply for a new check for 5 years. It is an offence to engage a barred or interim barred person in child-related work, and penalties do apply.
For individuals, it is an offence to work in a child-related setting if you do not hold a valid APP or WWC number, or if you're a barred person. If your check has expired, you are required to obtain a new clearance prior to engaging in child-related roles. This offence can result in a fine of up to $11,000 and or 2 years imprisonment. For employers, it is an offence to engage a worker in child-related roles if they do not hold a valid application number or Working with Children check, or if they are a barred person. This offence can also result in a fine of up to $11,000. Fines can also be issued if an organisation fails to verify its workers and doesn't keep accurate, up-to-date records. Our compliance officers are authorised to issue penalty infringement notices, known as PINs, to organisations we find to be non-compliant. Although we have this power, we prefer to first take an educational approach to support organisations to understand their legal obligations. We may decide to issue a PIN if we determine that an employer's conduct is putting children at risk, or if there is a history of non-compliance and lack of cooperation. If you'd like more information on what to do if an employee loses their clearance to work with children, give us a ring or email compliance@ocg.newsouthwales.gov.au. Thanks for watching. The next video looks at our auditing and monitoring work.
Visit our website for policy samples, posters and templates. You can also find videos, including the others in this series. or send us an email or give us a call and let us help you on your child safe journey.